Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in with me today. For today's reading, we are taking a look at what energy blockages are currently in your energy field or are preventing you from moving forward in your life. Just where are you feeling blocked at the moment that you are tuning into this reading? So if this is your first time here, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your support on this channel. Your comments and your likes are so helpful in getting this channel, in the algorithm here on YouTube. I am a fairly new channel, so I am trying to get myself out there and having more confidence in my abilities. So thank you all for being here. And let's get your significator cards. These will be the cards that you choose from to help guide you onto which deck is going to be the reading for you. Number 2. One card for pile number 2. The collective of pile number 2, please. And I will show you these closer on camera in just a second. All right, and we have dry desert. All right, so for pile number 1, we have protecting treasure and malachite. For reading number 2, we have Stuck in the Mud with blue lace agate. And for pile number 3, we have Dry Desert with Howlite. Alright, pause the video if you need more time to meditate. If you already know which pile you are drawn to, just go ahead and skip forward to your reading. Pause the video if you need to. The timestamps are going to be listed in the description box below, and I will see you all at your reading. Welcome, pile number 1. This is your reading. If you chose the Malachite with the Protecting Treasure card. So with these two, the card and the stone, for me I feel like this is relating to a heartache, a heartbreak, something like that, that requires you to protect yourself or feel like you need to, that the environment around you has been very protective or nurturing, has been very, harsh. And there might be some healing that needs to come in for you, some heart healing. Let's get some more answers. What do we have? We have hole in the soul. Oh. Okay, so yeah, I'm feeling a broken heart. So definitely the heart needs some healing. We have dreams. Peace of mind. Grief. Oh. Renewal. Let's get this one and then we'll perfection. Okay, so what I heard from this pile is that you may have lost someone in your life. I'm not sure if this is the loss of a family member, the loss of a loved one, and you have a little bit of grief that you're holding on to. And when you're going through a loss of a child or a loss of a loved one, it can be very hard to heal from that experience because you feel like there's something missing in your life, and you miss them, you miss talking to them, you miss hearing their voice, you miss sharing time together, that connection. And it has caused you to, kind of shut your heart down a little bit and put up some walls and some barriers, maybe because it's so hard to allow yourself to feel. And so you end up walling yourself off from feeling anything, because when you do open yourself up to feeling, like, all this grief comes pouring out. And essentially that is what is needed in order for you to heal. Anytime you feel emotional about something, anytime you miss this person, this soul that's missing in your life, this person, allow yourself to cry, to mourn for them. The more you do, the more you can heal and you can process. And that grief, it's never, you can never replace them, but it will allow you to not have so much heartache and heartbreak. It's not saying that you ever forget them and anybody can ever replace them, but when we allow ourselves that time to grieve and spend some time just nurturing yourself, allowing yourself to process the experience, to allow yourself to grieve over that loss and to mourn for them, and not to put any kind of restrictions or limitations on yourself. It can take you several years to grieve over it, especially when, there's holidays that come up, there's birthdays that come up, there's certain songs that remind you of them, memories will come up for you, and when you do have those experiences, hold on to those as much as you can, because that is your connection to them, and that is what keeps their memory alive. And I know it's easier said than done, but it is holding on to that gratitude and that experience that you got to have with them while they were here in this incarnation on earth, and to treasure those times that you spent together on the journey, and all the memories that you were able to make while they were here in this incarnation, and not to grieve or, feel guilty over maybe you should have said this, or maybe there was, some things that you didn't speak about. Say if this person had passed away before you made peace with them, or before you got to speak your truth, or say you were sorry, take the time now to go spend some time in nature and speak to them, because they can hear you. They haven't disappeared forever. We're all energy, and all that's happening is the physical body dissolves, but the soul still exists. The energy is still there. We just can't perceive it in a physically dense form. So your loved one is still here, still with you, still guiding you, still in your heart, still in your your mind and in your life. We just can't perceive them in this physical vessel anymore, because they have already transcended the physical form, and now they are in their spiritual body, which is all light, love, and energy. And so you can take that time, go out in nature, create yourself a sacred space, and convene with them, speak to them, speak your heart, speak your mind, tell them everything that you want them to know, that you miss them, that you love them, that you're sorry, whatever applies to you and your situation. And this will help you express that grief and go through that grieving process, because if you hold it in and you shut yourself down, your body will start to form diseases in the body. You'll start to get more body aches and pain. Your health will just start to decline, because our emotions are meant to move through us. They're meant to be fluid. They come in, and we're supposed to release them and allow them to flow through, and not hold on to them and not judge them. They're there for a reason, and it's perfectly okay to grieve over a loss, to mourn over a loved one, or a missed opportunity, or something that you feel that you're having to live without. And not to hold yourself to this place of being perfect. Sometimes we don't know when it's somebody's time to leave, and things happen the way that they were meant to happen. And I know that doesn't bring any kind of ease to anybody's mind or heart, but essentially it will in the end, because if you'd have known you would have done things differently, right? But you didn't know, and that's what you have to do, is to let go of blaming yourself for anything, for not knowing, for, I mean, how could you know? That's the other thing. How could you know that this person, it was their time, and that they were being called back, and that they were leaving their physical form, you know? Sometimes we can't know, we're not allowed to know, because it would change the outcome. It would change a chain of events that needed to happen and take place. So have grace for yourself, have empathy for yourself, forgive yourself, love yourself through the experience, and speak to, you know, your loved one, whatever this pertains to. All right, let's see what else we have. We have mirror abuse, the foe, harm, disruption, and recovery. Yeah, I just see you blaming yourself, and, you know, having a hard time with accepting that this has happened and that you've had no control over the situation. Let's see. You know, when it's their time, that's the thing. We can't control that. We have to, learning to let go is one of the hardest things, because it, you know, sometimes we feel like we're giving up, or to let go means that their memory will fade, or that the experience, that you don't love them, or they weren't worth a lot to you, and that's not true. Your loved one, whoever this is, knows you love them dearly. You know, knows your grief, knows your heartache, and they don't want you grieving. They don't want you holding on to this pain for so long. They want you to surrender. They want you to heal. They want you to live your life as best as you can, you know, and holding on to all the good experiences that you had together, all those good times, you know. Oh, my heart just got really big for you, number one. I'm so sorry. Surrender to the flow. Yeah, allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to cry over, you know, those what could have been, you know. Because I know that can be very hard when the holidays come around and you just miss them, and you want to hear their voice, and you want to share in some memories, or just, you know, what their experience has been. And, you know, eventually you will get that time together when your journey here is done and over, and you've completed your mission. You will rejoin with this being, and y'all will get to share in your experience of Earth, and, you know, how hard it was, and all the joys, and then all the heartaches and the experiences that you've been through on your journeys. You know, you'll get that time together. But right now you're being asked to let go of these emotions, to let go of your pain, let go of this grief of holding on so tightly to blaming yourself for something that you have no control over. And know your power. So some of you, okay, there's two messages coming through here. This could be a toxic relationship. Someone who has been very abusive to you, where you poured your heart out to them, and all they did was just, you know, take advantage of your love and abuse you. Maybe this person was narcissistic. They love that you are always wanting approval, or that you're always overlooking the way that they treated you because you love them so much, or maybe you yourself are afraid of being alone, and so you stayed in this relationship for a very long time, and preventing yourself from receiving all this beautiful love that is meant to be yours, that is meant to come into your life, by remaining in this situation because you yourself maybe don't know how worthy and loving and beautiful and strong you are, that you can make it on your own, and not to be afraid of being on your own. Because a lot of people, what happens with empaths and narcissists is empaths tend to be codependent, because we're taught it's just in in our energy, in our makeup, in our heart, to just love others from the heart, and to look past their crappy behaviors, because inside, there's an innocent child and somebody hurt them, and so they can be acting out of their pain, and so we understand that, and we give them these excuses to act out of their pain, and they essentially will treat us poorly because we're forgiving. And we end up putting our feelings aside of how they treat us and how they make us feel out of our love for them. So essentially we betray ourselves, which is, horrible, because we end up becoming like this doormat that says everybody can treat me like crap, and I'll just love you anyways. I'll love you no matter how bad you treat me and how much, evil and toxic energy that you throw my way. I will constantly be forgiving and overlooking and accepting of your crappy behavior, and that's not fair. You deserve so much more than that, because you are such a beautiful being that has such a big heart, but you have to protect that heart, because not everybody is gonna treat it with respect. Some people will just walk all over, drop kick it, and not even think twice, because in their mind, oh well, you're just gonna forgive me anyway, so I can do whatever I want. All I have to do is say I'm sorry, and then, yep, I'll just keep doing it and doing it. You're never gonna change. You never do anything. You just, all I gotta do is say I'm sorry, and you'll still be there. So you're being asked to know your power, stand up for yourself, and to reclaim your sovereignty, to reclaim your right to have respect, and to demand healthy, respectful boundaries in a relationship with someone else, and to allow yourself to be open to receiving the beautiful love that is meant to be yours. And we can be in some of these relationships for lifetimes, for generations, where you keep incarnating with these same souls over and over again until you learn the lesson. Because like empaths, for me, I see them as more like older souls who've been here a lot longer, or they come from a higher dimensional plane where all is love, all is truth, all is known. There is no hiding. Nobody's wearing a mask. You just know everybody's coming from a place of unconditional love. And so an empath is still in that place. They still have their heart intact. And some of the people who are here on the 3D, their heart has been broken and shattered, and they haven't put the pieces back together. So they're still acting from their pain. And when you're an empath, you're not acting out of pain, you're acting out of love. And so you have unconditional love for everybody. But here on this planet, you can't function that way. We can't always see their innocence and their potential and treat them that they're living through that potential. They're not. If they're not acting, the way that they're, people can talk a good game and say, oh, I'm this person, I'm that person, and I always do this, and I'm always kind. But then you watch them, and their behavior and the actions and the way they treat people don't match up with their words. They're contradicting. You have to pay attention to their behavior and not their words, because people will tell you anything to get you to believe that this is who they are. But when you watch their actions, that's the truth of it, because that's the physicality of it. All right, let me see what else we have here. We have coercion. Okay, so for me, this plays more into our the narcissistic relationship of having somebody trying to make you see things from their point of view and denying the way that you see things. That narcissist energy. We have respite, and then we have sovereignty. Yeah, you need to take some time for yourself, pile number one. Take some time out to connect to yourself. Time to tap into your true worth, to loving yourself, not blaming yourself when things go bad, or when you tolerate, relationships for way too longer than you should have. It's correcting those patterns and shifting that energy, so that the more love you pour into yourself, the more boundaries and healthy boundaries that you set for yourself, the less you'll be a magnet for those types of relationships, because you're not, you know your worth, and you're not attracting people who know you don't know your worth and value, and so they want to, manipulate you and take from you and abuse you. But somebody who knows their worth and knows their value, they don't see you as easy prey. You know, they're like, oh, I don't want to mess with that person. So it's getting in there and knowing your worth and knowing your value. All right, so that's 2 different readings in one pile. I want to look at the tarot real quick. Messages for pile number 1, please. What we get? We have the World. All right, so when you do this shift, when you get in here and work on these blockages that are preventing you from moving forward, whether it's, you know, accepting your grief and moving on from the pain and of the loss of a loved one. And this can also be with the narcissistic relationship as well, because, you know, we do things out of our heart, from our heart. And so this person that we loved and we poured our heart and soul into, you know, and then to just have them take advantage of you, it can be extremely painful. And it can be, especially if it's like a family member or a loved one, you know, what you thought was your soulmate, and to have them treat you like this, and, you know, and to finally wake up and see, oh my goodness, it's almost like the battered woman syndrome, where you're just like constantly taking their bull crap for so long and just constantly being forgiving and giving them all these excuses. Oh, well, they're not a morning person, you know. Oh, they just had a bad day, you know, and they're constantly just disrespecting you, and you just give them all these excuses, you know. And when you can look back, you kind of, sometimes you beat yourself up, like, what was I thinking? Like, I can't believe I tolerated that for so long, you know. And it's so sad and heartbreaking for yourself, because you've allowed yourself to be in a relationship where that was okay, you know. And it's not okay. And what you need to do is to stand up for yourself and to say that's not okay, and learn a lesson from this, right? What is the lesson? Is to know your self-worth, set those healthy boundaries, pay attention to those red flags, watch their behavior, not their words. How are they treating other people? How do they handle conflict? You know, do they address when they make a mistake, or are they constantly sidestepping and deflecting and trying to turn it around on you? Are they gaslighting you? Now you've been through this experience, you know what it looks like, so you're able to say no when somebody like that is trying to come into your life and be a part of your life. You can set those boundaries and, like, nope, that's not a healthy relationship with me. I've already been down that road, and it's time for you to make better choices for yourself. And for those of you who are missing, you know, a loved one who has passed on, you know, they're watching you from above, you know. They're with you in your heart. They're always with you, but you're preventing yourself from moving forward. And it's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to come to that place of accepting, allowing yourself to grieve the loss of this person in your life, to wish them, you know, nothing but happiness and health, because I'm sure if they were here in the 3D, they, you know, it's not easy to live on planet Earth. You know, there's so much pain, and there's so much violence, and there's a lot of struggling and just conflict daily, you know. It's a blessing to be free from this space, you know, and hopefully to have ascended. But you can always, you know, speak to them every day. Every day you get up, that can be something that you do, is just talk to them and, you know, voice it out, connect with them any kind of way. You know, I have a friend who has like a teddy bear, and her son had passed away, and she had a little t-shirt made with his picture on it, and she put the little t-shirt on the teddy bear, so whenever she was missing her son, she would just hug this teddy bear and give him like a big ol' hug, you know, so that she could feel him with her anytime she felt like she missed him, you know. And when she's out in nature and she sees, you know, when she has like an animal critter that just comes up out of the blue, you know, she'll see certain things as a sign from her son. You can ask for signs from them, you know, to send you an animal spirit, something that you have a connection to, so that whenever, you know, you're thinking about them, or, you know, when you're missing them, or they're wanting to send you a sign, you can ask for, you know, can I receive, bird feathers or butterflies or cardinals, which something that makes you feel like they've heard your message, any way that you feel like you can connect to them. Maybe there's a favorite song that you shared, things like that. So yeah, I'm sending you lots of love, pile number 1. But it is time for you to shift your energy, and it's time for you to move forward and to, not forget, but it's time to just allow yourself to grow now. Okay, so we have 6 of Wands, we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Swords. I think these two are reversed, the way that they came out. Okay, so, Wands. Ooh, yeah, this has been a battle. It has been hard for you, but you will succeed, Oh. You've been working really, really hard. It has been a battle, a battle in your mind. Let's see, it has been a struggle, and you're now going to be in a place where you are able to nurture yourself and come to this place of healing. Yeah. Self-love. You're being asked to love yourself right now and just pour into yourself, and that will help you remove some of these energy blockages so that your heart chakra can open a little bit more and you can be a little bit more receptive to the healing energies. Alright, I just want to get maybe an angel card for you. Message from the angels for pile number 1, please. We have release and surrender. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you have held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. Yeah, you're just being asked to surrender, to let go, and to receive this healing love that is trying to pour into your heart. Yeah. Allow your mind to ease, to quit worrying so much, to quit blaming yourself so much. This treasure, this heart, that you're protecting. Look, see all the rain that's coming down? This is the release. This is the healing. This is the cleansing that's trying to come in for you, pile number 1. What do you desire? You now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desire and know what you're ready and deserving of, then they'll rush into your life as if by magic. Ooh, I like that. Know your worth. Know what you deserve. You deserve so much better. This is for those of you who are just grieving an old relationship. And then we have innocence. Beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth. No one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness so we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once more. Oh, pile number 1. How sweet. Turn over, let go, release. You need to cry it out. Forgive yourself. Let go of that blame. Let go of your anger. Let go of any pain or guilt that you're holding on to about this situation. Okay? I'm sending you all my love, pile number 1. Thank you for being here with this reading. I hope this reading helps you to let go and release and to forgive so that you can move forward and release these energy blockages in the heart so that you can receive all that you are deserving of receiving. Sending all my love, pile number 1. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hi, pile number 2. You chose the Stuck in the Mud card with the blue lace agate. So with this reading, I'm not laughing at you, but you know, there may be some heaviness that's stuck in your energy field right now that's causing the energy blockage, something that is preventing you from moving forward. Maybe there's something that you need to communicate. Okay. Yeah, somewhere in your life you're feeling just a little bit stuck at the moment. Let's get some more information. We have patience. Okay. Pay attention to signs. Make music. Guilt. Bittersweet. Empress of Night. Pull this down a little bit. Breakthrough. Alright, let me turn over one more card and then we'll begin with truce. Okay. So pile number 2, you do feel kind of like stuck at the moment. Maybe you feel like there hasn't been a lot of forward movement. You've been putting all this work in, trying to do the right thing all the time, putting the effort in, and you're being asked to allow that patience, to be patient. Pay attention to your guides. They might be sending you messages through music, through birds, through sound, maybe during sleep when you're resting, you might be receiving some insights, some downloads. But there is something where you feel there hasn't been a lot of forward movement, and it's coming, but you have to wait for things to align for you. And it takes a little bit at a time, and sometimes what we can see, we may feel like we're being blocked, but actually we're being protected in the moment. So whatever it is that's trying to come through and move forward for you, it may feel like there is a blockage there, but essentially it is you're being protected because there's something that isn't in alignment with what it is that you're trying to create and manifest for yourself. And so there has to be this this hold for the moment, and it's not because of something that you've done. There's just a certain situation that has to resolve before you can move forward. Yeah, and you might be feeling like, is there something that I haven't done? Is there something that I need to do? And right now, no, you're about to be moving forward into this new phase. So you may have a little bit of guilt that's left residually in your aura, in your energy field, that you need to be, that needs to be cleansed and healed at the moment before this forward movement can take place, because there is a new phase coming in for you, pile number 2. And you're going to have this breakthrough moment. So for me, the blockages, it might be a little bit of guilt. Like maybe you're afraid that if this blessing, this manifestation that comes in, that you're going to feel guilty that you've been blessed. And maybe you're going to feel bad for some of the people who have been in your life, or for somebody else. There's like a guilt associated with you being successful and enjoying your success. And you're being asked to break yourself free because it's an illusion. You deserve this blessing. You deserve this manifestation. You've put the work in. You've done all the hard work. You put the effort in. You've broken through. You've gone into the shadows. You've met yourself. You've made truth with your pain. You've met your shadow work. You've done the shadow work. You've embraced your fear. You understand who you really are, and you've made peace with it. But there's something that you still need to make peace with. There's something that's still in your energy field that needs your attention and your love. Let's see, we have follow the moon. Okay, so this is something in your sacral chakra. There's, something that you, a relationship perhaps, that you feel guilty about. There's an emotion that needs some healing. Let's see, we have protect the wild in green. And we have be without malice. Yeah, okay, so yes, you need to defend yourself for whatever this guilt is that you have. Maybe it's been somebody in your life who hasn't always treated you right, and maybe you feel if you were blessed that somehow you owe them something. Let's say they're family and you received this blessing. Let's say you win the lottery and you're blessed with this abundance, and somehow you feel like just because they're family that you owe them something, and you do not. You deserve every right to do what you want with your blessings, and if you want to bless them, then yes. But if you have any bit of, hate or disdain in your heart, then that is where the healing needs to go at the moment. Yeah, I feel like there might be a little aggressiveness or a little bit of anger towards somebody from your past, and maybe you do feel a little bit guilty, or you will feel guilty if you receive this blessing, because you know that they may try to make you feel guilty that you have this blessing and you should share your blessing. And you're being asked to know, stand in your power, stand in your truth, defend yourself without feeling guilty. Don't let them use your guilt against you. And you really have to take the time out to understand what is it that you feel guilty about, why. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty because you've been blessed. Look at that. We have trickery here. Yeah, somebody's going to try and manipulate you if you don't do the healing work yourself. That's what can happen if we haven't met and faced our fears and addressed our feelings and, what we've experienced, what our traumas are, what our challenges have been, and understood them from a higher perspective. It can be used against us in a sense that it can trigger those feelings to resurface, and people can attack us with them because it's an area that we haven't applied our wisdom and our knowledge and our awareness to. And so people will try to use those tactics to try to make you feel guilty, make you feel bad about yourself, make you feel like you owe them something, and you don't owe them something. Look at the record of the relationship. How have they treated you, when you didn't have this abundance, and were they there for you? Were they supportive for you? Or were they, out of sight, out of mind type of person, and then all of a sudden you get this blessing and they want to be, close to you? Psh, I don't think so. You gotta have this this strength to stand up for yourself and to know what is right, what is just, and who is deserving to be in your life. Who deserves your love? We have denial, redemption, and judgment. I love that. Yeah, use your judgment. This is that balance that needs to come in. Because maybe, you have denied that you're angry about the way that they treated you. Perhaps they try to deny how they treated you. Maybe they're wanting to be on the attack mode and get you on the defense so that you're trying to, you end up turning against yourself and blaming yourself for something that's not even your fault, but it's something that they're trying to project onto you. And it's time for you to rise up and stand in your power and take your power back. Yeah. And then we have this judgment with Mott. She's such a beautiful goddess because it weighs our good deeds versus our bad deeds. Do we still have pain and hate in our heart, or have we worked through and transmuted and healed our pain and our anger, and now we just have love, you know, and love is freedom. It allows us to move, it allows us to be free, and so it's light as a feather because it doesn't have any restrictions on it. You can have love for somebody but not have to have them in your life, you know, and that's where setting those healthy boundaries of saying I can love you, but I love you at a distance. I don't need you in my everyday life because having you close to me, having you so close in my life is painful, and you hurt me, and you don't care that you hurt me. So I'm gonna make peace with being okay not having you close to me in my life, because to be honest, having this distance has made it better, made me more healthier. It's made me love myself better, stand up for myself more, and it has given me peace, you know. And you have to be okay with that and not judge yourself, because you're able to find happiness without them. And you're being asked to let go of that guilt so that you can move forward, so that you can receive these blessings that are trying to come in for you. Let me look at the tarot. Let's see. Yeah, I love this redemption card right here. You have such a bright light within you. This fire to protect yourself, to stand up for yourself, to use that fire. You have the King of Swords. That's right. Cut through the illusions. Stand in your truth. Stand in your power. Yeah, it's time for you to move to safer waters. It's time for you to leave the past behind. This hard emotional experience that you've been through. It's time to move forward and let that go. Yeah, we have strength. Stand in your strength. Stand in the truth of who you are. Pile number 2. We have the Chariot. Yeah. So you have some forward movement. Once you do this, when you stand up for yourself and you cut through the illusions of what the mind tries to make us believe about ourselves or about the situation, like you're going to move forward. You're going to be able to heal yourself and stand in your power and be open to receiving these rewards that are meant to be yours. That's right. Justice is coming in for you, pile number 2. I love that. Look at this balance. We have this strength in the Chariot. Being able to receive as much as you give. Yeah, finding that balance. All right, let me get some, I wanted to get some messages from the angels for you to help you see what's coming in once you work through this blockage, this feeling of guilt that you have about moving forward, moving on with your life, standing up for yourself, freeing yourself from all this harsh energies, from this toxic environment. Messages for pile number 2, please, from the angels. We have, what do you desire? You now have an opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, they'll rush into your life as if by magic. This came out in pile number 1. Alright, so you need to know what it is that you want out of life. You know, do you want these people back in your life? And to a degree, you might think so, but maybe not as they are and who they've been. Maybe if they've grown, if they've changed, if they have evolved, if they're truly, you know, want to be a part of your life again, they'll come with respect. You know, they'll acknowledge their choices and the mistakes and the pain that they've caused you. And that's what they'll lead with when they want to come back into your life. They don't come with blame and judgment and trying to blame you for things. If they truly want to be in your life, they will own their part in the dissolution of the relationship, and anybody who is truly sorry doesn't come to attack. They come with a humble heart and wanting to build the bridge, not looking to blame anybody or make excuses for things. They come with like, all right, let's work on this, let's heal this. I miss you, and I'm sorry for the way that things worked out. I just really want to be in a relationship with you. And then you learn to set boundaries, what you're willing to have, how you want to have a relationship, and they should be open to that. Ooh, I'll take the card that flipped over. We have noticed the signs again. So we have 2 signs. So your angels and your guides have been communicating with you, and they're asking you to acknowledge when you are receiving these signs, so that they'll continue to send you them. Yes, the signs you've been receiving are heaven sent. We drop feathers, coins, and other signs upon your path to remind you that you're loved and never alone. You're never alone. Pile number 2, your guides and your angels want you to know that they've been sending you signs, to pay attention, to acknowledge when you receive them, whichever way that you receive messages from your guides, whether it's through music, through coins, through feathers, through animals, through angel numbers, whatever it is, just, acknowledge and say thank you, so that they'll continue to communicate to you through that modality. But yeah, watch people's behaviors. Don't listen to their words. Watch their behavior. You have life purpose. The purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus upon serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. Ooh, I love that. Your life purpose. Do what's in your heart, and listen to your heart. Follow your heart. Don't betray yourself for other people, and it's, you have to pour into yourself and love yourself so that others want to pour into you, so that you're not neglecting yourself and not, giving yourself that same type of love that you would give someone else. You have to give yourself that same love, that same respect, that same energy. All right, we got 2 more. We have acceptance. See yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. Aww. That's what I mean. Like, you can love people, but you don't have to have them so close in your relationship. They don't have to be this immediate relationship where you can love them at a distance, wish the best for them, but having them here in your life doesn't serve either one of you. It's actually very toxic. It's draining. It prevents you from receiving your blessings, receiving your gifts, and it just keeps you in this toxic environment that's very heavy and very dense. And it's time for you to move forward and time to let go. We have time to go. The sun sets and rises each day, and it's the same with the avenues in your life. See the beauty within each sunset in your life, and know that the sun will always rise again tomorrow. Endings are merely the start of a new beginning, and we are with you through each phase and cycle. Yeah, it's time for you to move forward, pile number 2. It's time for you to let go, and to know that anytime we release something and we let something go, that it will always be replaced by something new and better. It's almost like when you go through your spring cleaning and everything, and it's so beneficial. I do this 2 times a year. I'll do it in the spring, and I also do it in the fall, because you're cleansing out, everything physical represents something spiritual. So while you're doing this purging that's taking place, you're cleansing out all these physical items, clothes that you no longer wear. Maybe there's these utensils in the, utensil drawer that you don't even use anymore. There's too many. The junk drawer, you just go through when you purge and you cleanse out everything you're no longer using. And when you do that, you create this new energy, this space for new energies to come in, and you can feel like this lightness, this heaviness just lift. And it's so crazy because it's very subtle, but that there's empty space, you know that there's more room. And so that extra space just allows for more and better to come into your life. And so when you clear out some of these old toxic relationships, the ones that are meant to be in your life for the better, they're going to fill those voids that you may feel of having given up and chosen to move forward from a lower toxic relationship with these people, to then opening up a space to more people who are more like-minded, the same vibration, the same energy as you. You know, they don't bring you down, they actually lift you up. You kind of feed each other's energy. You feel that energy exchange where you're getting, you know, uplifted just as much as they are. They don't feel like they're taxing and breaking you down and draining your energy, you know. And that's how you need, you know, the difference between somebody who is, you know, a lower vibrational toxic person. And not everybody who's lower vibration is toxic. Some people are just sick and they're going through a struggle at the moment, and so they're kind of just a little bit depressed and down. But there's a difference when you know somebody's just a negative Nancy and they just complain and they're a victim all the time. And those are the people that just, you know, they kind of want to waller in their pity for a little bit and just kind of set some healthy boundaries around these people so that they're not, you know, you're not feeding into it too much and giving them too much of your energy and your love. And then when you meet those people who are inspiring, there's an equal energy exchange. Those are the people that you want to be around. Okay. All right, pile number 2. This was your reading. I hope it resonates with some of y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Sending you lots of love. Y'all take care. Hi, pile number 3. You chose the Dry Desert card with the Howlite. So, a potential energy blockage for you, pile number 3. Let's see, we have the dry desert, so you may have been on this healing journey for a good bit of time. Maybe you feel a little bit isolated or out on your own, left to wander by yourself. Maybe you do feel a little bit abandoned, a little bit alone and isolated. Might have a little bit of resentment or anger. Let's check the other cards. Let's see what else we have. Oops. We have discover your life purpose. Home. Yeah. Okay. Honoring your true feelings. Yeah, pile number 3. It feels like you felt a little bit alone. You feel a little bit different. You feel like you've been a little isolated, maybe a little bit abandoned. You're being asked to honor, you know, how you feel, to honor your true feelings, how you really feel about yourself, and to honor them, release them, allow yourself to feel them so that you can understand them and process them. Let's see, we have prayer, insecurity, yeah, and acceptance. Yeah, you have a feeling of like maybe you don't fit in, maybe you're super unique and different, and you felt a little bit isolated. Nobody understands you. Nobody feels the way that you feel, maybe as deeply as you feel. Maybe you've had people make you feel like you were, you know, weird or different, and even though, to be honest, that's what makes you beautiful, is your uniqueness. And those of us who have felt weird and unique and different, it's because we are being prepared for leadership, because we don't quite fit in with the norm. We don't do what society says. We don't quite believe the same things that we're being taught. We see things from different perspectives, from a higher perspective, and that comes from being isolated, from being on our own, for listening to our own inner compass and being guided by our heart and our soul. You know, always listening to our own inner voice and being guided by that, and not what society and our, you know, our parents or our teachers or, you know, peer pressure and everything like that. You've been somebody who has learned to comfort yourself and, you know, become your own best friend, essentially. And sometimes it can make us feel very, you know, lonely. It makes us feel like maybe we're not accepted, you know, and we can feel a little bit insecure because maybe we don't quite fit in. Maybe we, you know, we look a little different, we dress a little different, we listen to different types of music, or you don't treat everybody, you know, weird because they're different. Let me try to adjust my camera here. Okay. And I know what that feels like, pound number one. And I truly feel like, you know, I know I'm not, this might sound weird to some of you, but I truly don't feel like Earth is my home. I truly believe that I'm from a different star system, and it has been hard to adapt to this density of Earth, which is very heavy. There's a lot of violence, there's a lot of judgment, there's a lot of division and war and violence and just negativity towards one another, and it's very hard to feel safe in an environment that you don't feel safe in. And because everybody's picking everyone apart, everybody's pointing out things that everybody should be ashamed of, when it's nobody can help, you know, their home situation, what you're grown into, you know, and people just love to talk down to one another, make everybody feel bad for who they are and where they come from. And I don't agree with that. And so it's hard to be different and to stand out and stand up for yourself, because then it's like you get shamed for it, and you end up sticking out, and then it makes you feel completely you know, insecure, like it's bad to stick out, so you just kind of want to hide yourself away a little bit and isolate yourself, and it can be very lonely. We have the Great Telescope. Share your thoughts. Yeah, your ability to see things from this different perspective is what makes you so beautiful and unique, because you have a higher perspective on things. You can see the bigger picture. You're not so focused on this little trivial physical bull crap where everybody's so focused on the shallow end of the pool. They're not looking deep within somebody's heart and soul and seeing their true, you know, the true light of that being. They're only looking at, oh, the clothes you wear, the music you listen to, the type of way you wear your hair, the color of your hair, the tattoos you have, the piercings you have, you know, your gender and everything like that. Like, people are so shallow nowadays, and you are a soul who is very deep. You're very connected to the higher realms, to the true meaning of life and what it means to be the divine incarnated into the human body. And you have this perspective that you're able to see into the darkness, and you're able to see through the illusion. You can see through the lies. You can see when somebody's just trying to put on a show for someone else to like them, you know, because you're afraid to be themselves, because they don't want to be called out, they don't want to be picked on, they don't want to be bullied, they don't want to stand out, they want to just fall in line and be like everyone else. And you don't want to do that. You chose to remain true to yourself. And when you do that, though, it can be a journey. It's like a spiritual quest, you know, to get to know yourself. But that is such a beautiful way. You know, it can be, yes, isolating, but it is also such a deep connection to, like, everything that exists, to source, such a connection to source, because where you may feel like you're isolated, but you are connected to all. You're connected to source, you know, through nature, through the animal kingdom, to yourself, because everything lies within. Make the sacrifice. Let's see what that relates to. We have wrath. Change. Obsession. Oh, that's Chanji. Abuse. Empowerment. I love that we end with empowerment. Yeah, I think A lot of people are taught, to sacrifice their individualness, their individuality, their uniqueness, just to fit in with what society's standards are of what's successful, what is, worthy, what is true worth, what is our true value and everything. And we end up repressing who we really are, trying to fit in with society, trying to fit in with others. And it is a type of self-abuse, because we are putting who we really are, like we're stuffing that version of ourselves down just to fit in with society and be, like everyone else. And so many people are just obsessed with how they look and the type of clothes they have and the cars that they drive and, this outer appearance, instead of doing the inner healing work and working on themselves and understanding, who they are and what really matters. What is the true value? What is true worth? What is true success? And when you do the healing work, you understand who you are. You understand what your needs are. You understand what you value in another person, what you value in, your successes, what makes you feel more accomplished. And most of the times, people who've been on this healing journey, it's not by the amount of money we have. It's by the amount of love we have in our heart, the ability to help one another, the ability to still be humble, even when we go through these hard, trying, traumatic, challenging experiences. We still find a way to see things from a different perspective. We still find a way to try and love and forgive and understand, even though, we have been hurt in the past. We understand the lessons from those experiences, and we learn to love ourselves and appreciate ourselves more. And if you haven't been on that healing journey with yourself, you're being asked to begin to see yourself from a different perspective and to love yourself regardless of what society says you should look, or what a true successful person looks like, that you have to have X, Y, and Z, this type of car, this type of house, this type of job to be successful, because most of those people that do have that, they're not truly happy. A lot of the times they have had to walk on people to get to where they're at. They've had to do things that they're not so proud of to be in the position that they're in. And, there's a lot of trauma that comes with having to, and a lot of sacrifice and having that type of, success. And me, myself, that's not what I value as successful, and everybody should have their own perception and belief system about that, what they value as success, what they see as true success, and what is an honorable person, who is a type of leader that we look up to, those types of things. And using that type of mindset to empower yourself is very beneficial for you, and finding some ways to tune into the inner realms, to connect with your guides, to find your connection to who you really are, to feel at home and safe within your own being, where you can truly acknowledge the beauty of being your unique self and having your unique perspective on life without needing anybody else's approval and acceptance for who you are. You have to give that to you. You have to see your own value and your unique beauty, that it comes from within, and not to value this outside shell. This is our temple. It houses our soul, but our soul is the true beauty. We each have this vessel, and it's a limited functioning machine, and the true worth is not this outside shell. It is what is within. Okay, let's see. Let me look at the tarot real quick. Pile number 2. Hangman. Yeah. Yeah, you're being asked to change your position, the way that you see things, the way you see yourself and your situation, and see everything that you have been through, everything that you've accomplished. You're somebody who works really, really hard, and you put your all into everything that you're doing. You've overcome so much. Alright, let's see what we have. We got a couple cards that wanted to come out here. Yeah, look at you. There's been a lot of battles. You've had to fight off a lot of people's perceptions about you. Yeah. And I'm sure at times it made you doubt yourself, doubt your abilities, doubt the way that you, who you are, and, made you second guess yourself, where you almost end up turning against yourself, and not liking yourself. It's like that self-betrayal. I mean, you have the High Priestess here, so you're able to see, the need for, I'm with the Chariot. I love this. We have this dual perspective. You're able to understand, a lot about the physical and the spiritual, and make that connection of why things happen the way they happen, and having that perspective of understanding why somebody behaves and acts and does the way that they do. And it's, a lot of it has to do with their programming from their parents to society to their peer groups, and unfortunately a lot of people just are not conscious enough to be able to make their own choices and decisions. Most people are just doing what they think is acceptable by others, and everybody's just afraid to step out of their own little bubble and to be their unique, authentic selves. Alright, you're going to be very successful. Look at this beautiful wall, this foundation that you've made for yourself. Yeah, bringing home the prize. You're going to be very successful, pile number 2. Wait, no, pile number 3. I'm so sorry if I've been calling you pile number 2. This energy blockage, when you get in there and do that self-love, self-healing, acknowledging everything that you've been through and everything you've overcome, and embracing your uniqueness, everything that makes you this beautiful being that you are, you're going to be very successful, because you have this ability to create, to stand in your truth, to be very, very strong, to juggle your perspective of the balancing of the masculine and the feminine, balancing your perspective and understanding other people's perspectives, but still being able to have this solid foundation, this boundary that protects you and allows you to stay safe and feel, at home within who you are. Nobody can shake you from your foundation. Nobody can come at you with their false perceptions. You may have experienced, toxic relationships and overcome them, and self-empowered yourself to the point where nobody can deter you from your path or the way that you see yourself anymore, because you have faced your shadows and you understand who you are. And yeah, you're just going to be very victorious. So these energy blockages, if you truly don't feel like you have an energy blockage, to be honest, pile number 3, it feels like you know who you are, and you have been doing that self-empowerment for yourself for a good bit of time. You put in the work, you put in the effort, you understand who you are. There's forward movement, there's this positive, strong foundation of all these blessings that you've worked so hard to receive, and this connection that you have to the spiritual world, your spiritual self, your higher self, and you're just going to be victorious. You're bringing home the prize here, coming home to yourself. Ooh, yeah. Your true self, your higher self, pile number 3. You're becoming your higher self. You're bringing forward, bringing down your higher self into the 3D here. Ooh. All right, let me get some angel cards for you. Just messages from the angels to give you a little bit more empowerment. Yeah, I feel like you may have been held on to anger a little too long, but choose to learn to release it and allow them to flow and heal. All right, it's a little too many. Let's do that again. Pile number 3, please. Messages from the angels for pile number 3. Okay, we have focus on service. I love that. We have this fairy on the unicorn. Your soul desires only to joyfully serve and to swim in a constant stream of bliss. This stream continuously feeds you everything you need. Put your entire focus upon staying in the stream of giving and receiving in every situation and all that you do. I love that pile number 3. This balance that you have of being able to see things from both perspectives, to balance the physical and the spiritual, to balance your masculine and feminine energy, and then to open yourself up to receiving as much as you give to others, and the focus on your heart space. We have new partner. A chance meeting is no mistake. It is divinely orchestrated as a catalyst to set the wheels in motion for the fruition of your prayers. Pay careful attention to new people we send into your life. You will recognize them by your sense of familiarity. I hope I said that correctly. Comfort and safety. Oh, so you might be coming into contact with some soul members of your same family tribe, your soul tribe, who are just like you, who love to serve and help other people, but they're able to, stand in the truth and their strength and have those leadership abilities, right? They're not afraid to be who they are. They feel safe in their physical body. We have ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. So if you need any help and guidance, you can speak to your angels. You can ask your soul tribe to meet up with them here on the physical plane. You can do that in meditation or when you're sleeping. Just ask to have some of those experiences to maybe meet up with them. Ask for signs and symbols to give you confirmation that you're on the right path. All right, in your last card, we have acceptance. See yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. There we go. Love and accept yourself, pile number 3. We have acceptance twice on the board. So you just have to accept all that you're deserving of, all the beautiful uniqueness that is you, that is what you're being asked to do right now to help shift your energies from within, is just to accept your unique beauty, your unique self, everything that makes you, separate and different from everyone else, because that is your gift, that is your beauty, that is your leadership quality, because you're able to see things from this higher, beautiful perspective, and you're meant to share that with others. Okay, pile number 3, that was your reading. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you all so much for all of your likes and subscriptions. It is always a blessing. I love having you here. I hope y'all have a great day. Sending you lots of love. Y'all take care.